Ayaan was a quiet boy who lived in a small town where everyone seemed to know everyone else. From the outside, his life looked normal. He went to school, helped his father at the shop in the evenings, and studied late at night. But inside his heart, there was a constant noise that never stopped. That noise was comparison. Every morning, Ayaan woke up and checked his phone before even getting out of bed. He scrolled through pictures of his classmates. One had won a medal in sports. Another had posted a photo with a new bike. Someone else shared a picture of high marks on a test. With every swipe, Ayaan felt a little smaller. He closed the phone, sighed, and stared at the ceiling, wondering why his life didn't look like theirs. At school, this feeling followed him everywhere. In class, he compared his answers with others. If someone answered faster, he felt slow. If someone spoke confidently, he felt weak. Even when he did well, happiness stayed only for a moment before comparison stole it away. He would think, yes, I did good, but not as good as them. Ayaan loved drawing. Since childhood, he spent hours sketching faces, trees, and streets. When he drew, time seemed to stop. His mind felt calm, but slowly, even this love began to feel heavy. One day, a classmate brought a beautiful painting to school. Everyone praised it. Ayaan looked at it and then at his own drawings. That day, he closed his sketchbook and didn't open it again for weeks. At home, his parents noticed the change. He spoke less, smiled less, and stayed alone more often. His mother asked him gently one night what was wrong. Ayaan wanted to explain, but the words felt confusing. How could he explain that he felt like he was always behind, always less, even when no one said so? He simply said he was tired. One afternoon, Ayaan's school announced a career guidance session. A guest speaker was coming, someone who had grown up in the same town and achieved success. The hall was full and students listened closely. The speaker, Mr. Rahman, didn't look proud or showy. He spoke calmly like he was telling a story. He talked about his school days, how he was average in studies and poor in sports. He shared how he often compared himself with others and felt useless. I thought everyone else was better, he said. I tried to become like them, and in doing so, I forgot who I was. Ayaan felt like those words were meant for him. Mr. Rahman continued, one day I realized something simple. A fish cannot climb a tree and a bird cannot swim like a fish. Both are perfect in their own place. The problem begins when we ask a fish to compete with a bird. Those words stayed in Ayaan's mind long after the session ended. That evening, instead of opening social media, Ayaan took out his old sketchbook. He flipped through the pages slowly. He saw his journey in those drawings. Some were rough, some were beautiful, but all were his. For the first time in a long while, he didn't compare them with anyone else's work. He just looked at them as they were. The next day, Ayaan made a small decision. He decided to stop checking his phone first thing in the morning. Instead, he woke up, stretched, and wrote one line in a notebook. I will focus on my own path today. At first, it wasn't easy. Comparison had become a habit, and habits don't break quickly. In class, when someone answered before him, the old feeling returned. But now, Ayaan noticed it. He took a deep breath and reminded himself that learning wasn't a race. Slowly, he began to change how he talked to himself. When he made a mistake, instead of calling himself useless, he said, I am learning. When he saw someone doing better, instead of feeling jealous, he tried to feel inspired. One day, his art teacher noticed him drawing during free time. She looked at his sketch and smiled. You have a good eye for detail, she said. Have you ever thought of improving this skill seriously? That simple sentence filled Ayaan with warmth. No comparison, no competition, just recognition. The teacher encouraged him to join an art workshop in the city. Ayaan hesitated at first. He imagined meeting people better than him. The old fear knocked again, but this time he didn't let it control him. He remembered Mr. Rahman's words and decided to go. At the workshop, Ayaan met students from different places. Some were very skilled, others were beginners. In the beginning, he felt nervous, but as days passed, he realized something important. Everyone had a different style. Some focused on realism, some on imagination. There was no single best way. For the first time, Ayaan enjoyed learning without comparing. He asked questions, made mistakes, and improved. When someone praised his work, he smiled without feeling guilty. When someone was better, he admired them without feeling small. Back at school, changes were visible. Ayaan started participating more in class. His marks slowly improved, not because he was trying to beat someone, but because he was focusing on understanding. He spent less time online and more time doing things he loved. One evening, his father asked him to help at the shop. Ayaan used to think that helping there meant wasting time, especially when he compared himself to friends who had more freedom. But that day, he looked at it differently. He talked to customers, observed people, and later used those expressions in his drawings. He realized that his life experiences were shaping him in a unique way. Months passed and Ayaan entered a school art competition. In the past, just the thought of competition would make him anxious. This time, he focused on expressing his story through his art. He drew a boy standing among shadows of people, slowly finding his own light. When the results were announced, Ayaan didn't win first place. He got a special mention. Surprisingly, he felt happy, not because of the award but because he had completed his work honestly. He felt proud of himself. His mother noticed the certificate on the wall and smiled. "You look different these days," she said, "more peaceful." Ayaan nodded. He finally understood that peace came from acceptance, accepting his pace, his strengths, his weaknesses, and his journey. One night, Ayaan opened social media again after a long time. He saw the same kind of posts, but this time they didn't hurt as much. He realized that people only shared highlights, not struggles. He closed the app and went back to his notebook. He wrote another line, "I don't need to be like anyone else to be valuable." Years later, when Ayaan looked back, he didn't remember the comparisons that once troubled him. He remembered the moment he chose himself, the moment he stopped measuring his worth by others' lives, the moment he accepted who he was. And in that acceptance, he found growth, confidence, and quiet happiness that comparison could never give.